This is far more complicated than you think. It really goes much deeper than you think it does. I'm just going to keep it that way. A man by the name of Nazar was recently taken in by the FBI to be questioned as a leading suspect in the murder of Shanquella Robinson. However, in a shocking new development, Nazar posted an explanation of his side of the story last week on Instagram, claiming that he is innocent. So, based on what actually transpired that day in Cabo, who do we believe? And who is responsible for everything? Give your responses to these. We must examine the Z's account of the events and dissect his side of the story. Nazar Wiggins, a Charlotte resident of 25 years, and Shanquella attended Winston-Salem State University together, where they quickly formed a bond. He is said to have traveled to Cabo San Lucas Bahia, California Sur, Mexico on October 28, 2022, with Robinson and 5 other Winston-Salem State University college friends. They allegedly stayed at the Cabo Villas rental Villa Linda 32 in Fort de los Cabos. He appears to be the top suspect among the authorities for Shanquella's murder. However, Nazar claims that this was not the case. In an effort to clear his name for good, he recently uploaded a video online because he believes he is being conned. He begins the video by creating a timeline of the events, beginning with when and how he arrived at the location where Shanquella was discovered. Driver of my taxi. Due to traffic, it took us an hour to reach the village. I have no idea why. Consequently, I reached the villa by 326. Now, if you compare these assertions to the certified forensic autopsy report that the coroner's office published, you will notice that there are already beginning to be inconsistencies. The autopsy report found that Shanquella died on October 29, 2022, at 3:00 p.m., and that severe spinal cord injury and adverse action were the causes of death, suggesting that Shanquella died accidentally or violently. However, this is not the crucial part. The fact that the same autopsy report indicates that there was a 15-minute delay between the injury and the death indicates that Shanquella's death was caused by a trauma that occurred around 2:45 p.m., and Nazar asserts that he reached their location following that event. Continuing on, Nazar moves on. She was therefore in the game room when I arrived. They informed me that she was unwell, so I immediately went to her, placed her on her side, and procured a bag and other supplies. As a result, I spend the entire time sitting next to him. I pray with all my heart that they will be in the game room the entire time. After that, they talked about cooking. As a result, you reach the living room. Basically, Nazar says he found Shanquella in the game room. He says he rushed to her to help her, put her on her side, and get her bag while the others talked about what to eat and went to the living room, showing no real concern. From this point forward, things will only get more bizarre. As a result, Nazar was implying that the friends had already called a nurse on Shanquella's behalf. However, it has now come to light that the female medical officer in question claims that she arrived at the villa around 2:30 p.m. after being called for help. Additionally, she asserts that she arrived at the location in about an hour. In addition, Nazar states that he was informed that the maids bound Shanquella were found slumped over the master bedroom toilet. After that, he creates more. She made even more daring assertions with the rubber, and her head was just frozen in the nurse paint. I was initially informed that this was taking place, and I was informed that a man would arrive within a few minutes. I had already skipped another task by that point. Cooler had passed away. She was not discovered dead. She was slumped over her room's toilet when the maids found her. They did exactly that. In her room, you'll find her slumped over a toilet. I was advised that. When I got there, Kula wasn't dead. Nazar demonstrates at this point that he was informed by Shanquella's friends that she was ill from alcohol poisoning. Because that was all he knew at the time, he told the nursing staff that. He then paints a rather gloomy picture of Shanquella's situation and his efforts to assist her as it developed. Did nothing at all. She was not found dead, so I immediately went to quote her. She was discovered dead. Yes, unable to speak. She didn't speak. I tried to get her to talk to me and do other things, but nothing happened. Shit. Yes, but I did everything else as well. Yes, I am aware that you may have asked me. The nurse pointed out the knot on her head, which I hadn't really noticed. Her lip bump did show up for me. She did have a bug in her eye that was a bust. Not only does Nazar claim that he found Shanquella unresponsive when he found her, but he also claims that he was unaware of all of her injuries until the nurse pointed them out to him. She had suffered horrific wounds to her head, eye, and lips before he had noticed them. He goes on, shedding more light on some interesting aspects of the situation, as if this weren't already alarming enough. I'm literally there, giving her everything I have. Girl, get real. It is 2,000 miles from the home archive. I arrived at around 3 p.m., and I recorded my first video at 426. I'm standing by the pool outside. Let's go, get up. There are things to do. In essence, he is reiterating that he was completely unaware of the circumstance and did not know what had transpired prior to his arrival at the location. He once more tells everyone about when he got to the villa and shot his first video there. He also kept reminding everyone about other things. He made it a point to repeatedly recite the sequence of events on that fateful day. As a result, Nazar asserts that he has no knowledge whatsoever. He asserts that he has receipts to support his claim that he arrived later than everyone else. In addition, he asserts that, according to his version of the events, he even lacked the time to sit around and create an alibi regarding his location at the time of the murder. He asserts that he does not require an alibi because his plane tickets already demonstrate that he was never present in the first place. Further, Nazar asserted that Alex was present. I did not have those responses for you from Friday until I arrived in Cabo at 3 o'clock. I simply lack some responses close to my flight. When I got there, the itinerary, I can't come up with that. I can't. I really have no other options, but the genuine tickets claim to be able to locate, but when I landed, it did not land, preventing me from posting a video. I'm able to show the media. Go ahead and display the timestamps. After that, Nazar walks his audience through the entire procedure of providing first aid and immediate medical assistance to the patient. He claims that the nurse attempted to maintain Shanquella's electrolyte balance by injecting saline intravenously, but she was unsuccessful. Her oxygen saturation continued to decrease at the same time, indicating that they were losing her gradually. She was her energy when the nurse entered the room and attempted to assist with its installation. She lacked